system fall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall, we will make the system fall.
Every city, every town, burn this system to the ground.
Every city, every town, burn the system to the ground.
Brick by brick, wall by wall, we will make this system fall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall, we will make the system fall.
Every city, every town, burn this system to the ground.
Every city, every town, burn the system to the ground.
All right. This is one of our stops. We'll stop here for a moment. The immigration office is in the building to our right here. This is a federal building. Fuck the feds. Fuck the colonial government. So, no cops, no KKK, abolish USA.
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 Now, when I say abolish USA, I'm not saying death to America or any harm. I'm not wishing any harm on anyone. What I'm saying is we need to dismantle the colonial government. We need to dismantle the federal government. This is a racist government. These 50 states shouldn't exist. These 50 states were built on slavery and genocide. This is stolen land built with stolen people. These 50 states should not exist, not at least not in the way it does. This is a really racist government. This is a really, really racist government that we're living under right now. So when I say abolish USA, what I'm saying is we need to dismantle the tyranny of the federal government. We need to give all the land back to the tribes. All the land. The land needs to be given back to the tribes. There's no reason for the national parks to own more land than all of the reservations. That doesn't make any fucking sense. This is stolen land. The fucked up thing is that there's enough of it for all of us. Even as much as we have, there's enough to go around. Capitalist greed keeps that from happening. Racism keeps that from happening. Redlining keeps that from happening. These issues, they run so deep in this country. These issues have been going on for so long. Reparations have never been given. Reparations still need to be given to Black and Indigenous communities. Land needs to be given over to African Americans as well as reparations, because our communities are still struggling. They're struggling generations after these atrocities have taken place. And the systems that we have today still perpetuate the damage that caused. The damage that those systems put upon our communities and our people. The genocide might not be as evident. The genocide is just much quieter now. It's happening behind closed doors. It's happening slowly. You can't see. We still have systems today that perpetuate the damage caused by those genocides and slavery. Our communities are still struggling generations later. There's no reason for Black and Indigenous people to still be in poverty, to still be homeless. If this country cared about us, if this government cared about us, which, I mean, we know it does, then we wouldn't have these problems. That's because they want more for themselves and less for everybody else. The people running this country, billionaires, businesses, capitalist greed. Capitalism is very, very racist. You can't say capitalism isn't racist when people were once capital. We need to dismantle capitalism. We need to dismantle this colonial government. It'd be nice if one day we as a species on Earth were able to dismantle all the borders. Wouldn't that be great? No borders. If people were free to just travel as they please, where they wanted. I mean, there's so much racism in this world. Like, America has problems. America has a lot of really old problems. There's a lot of racism all over the world, though. You have to remember that. And as bad as things are here, like, there's people on the other side of the world living in active war zones right now. We can't forget that. We can't ignore that. Be grateful for what you have, but also realize what needs to be changed. Realize what needs worked up. Realize that these systems, they're not perfect. Major changes need to be made to these systems. We need to abolish ICE. We need to defund the police, abolish the police. We need to decrease military spending. Honestly, I think we need to...
What is up, everyone? Let me know how you're doing in the chat. Please hit that like button. The more likes that we get in a short period of time, the more people the algorithm will bring into the chat to come hang out with us and see what's going on. Yeah, so take that second right now to hit that like button. If you're new here, please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon if you want to make sure that you never miss a notification every time we go live. Join the Discord. The Discord is a free app that you download on your phone. You come to any of my live videos, even if they're not live anymore. In the description is a link to my server. You'll be greeted with an automated message letting you know that you've made it and done all you need to do in order to be notified. Thank you guys for being here. And thank you so much, Debbie, for your donation and all your support. I really appreciate you.
We go to war. Who decides we get to go to war? We're not going to end war overnight, but shit, we should try. Thank you. You need to end war.
This is why I hate the chat. You see? This is why I hate the chat. God damn.
That these systems
Just
need to be abolished and we need to start over. That's the best step that we can take to implementing a new system, a system that we as a community create, that we implement ourselves amongst us. Because with these systems in place, we can't do that. We need to come together. We need to build a real community, a real society, one that's not functioning off of money, greed, exploitation. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say,
You guys aren't wasting any time. You're just sitting here burning these people. It's mildly humorous. You guys are mean.
They don't want to talk about that. They all didn't come here legally. They're all illegal. Most of them don't even have leases to the land if you want to even talk about land ownership. And this place across the street is one of the most racist companies that ever existed. Wells Fargo not only supported all the pipelines and the destruction of the planet and all the oil and coal, but they even took out a survey like, who can we manipulate the most in the easiest market? Who's the least likely to report fraud? And they discovered, oh, it's the elderly and Native Americans. They immediately began targeting our communities for almost $1 billion in fraud in less than 6 months. And when found guilty, they just had to pay fines. And most of the Indians were too embarrassed, and most of the elderly too embarrassed to get part of the settlement to say, oh yeah, that's cool. And so they get away clean with their white-collar crime, which literally affects people's income. And then we can go to jail for loitering. Or now they're criminalizing homelessness. Now you don't have anywhere to go, now that's a crime. Where these people literally are taking hundreds of millions of dollars from people, and they get away scot-free, no charges, pay a fine, slap on the wrist, have a good day, Larry. And these people are putting kids in cages like fucking animals. Meanwhile, I live my pit bull in a car, how they treat these children, I'll go to prison. But they can do this to our children because they don't see us as equal. Even how they talk about it, they'll talk about them as illegal aliens. They're not even human. They dehumanize them as human beings. They're illegal aliens, not even the same as us. And their language is coded to show their racism and how different, as we're the minorities. What does that mean? Minor? What does that mean? Well, we're not equal. That's what they're really saying. Because we are the majority in the world. They just want to call us the minorities. Because in America we are. But they really want to know us to put us in our place. Because in the Western Hemisphere, 70% are brown.
What's up, Glock Compatible? Oh, the riots will be back. It's just too cold and rainy right now. Every time there's a warm day, they go out there and set a dumpster on fire. That stuff will be back. It's just been really slow this week, and my schedule is like interfering with the new White House schedule. They used to do briefings at like 10 in the morning. Now they don't do them till like 2 in the afternoon, and I'm always in the middle of doing something else, so I haven't been able to cover them. But hopefully this next week I'll be able to cover all that nonsense and we can have ourselves a good laugh as the country burns down. But yeah, no, we'll be going live more often as soon as the weather gets warm. You know, I can't really go live if, you know, there's nothing to show. I could sit here and make you guys laugh, but, you know, the way people are right now, a lot of people are really sensitive right now. They got a lot of hate in their heart, and they don't know which way to point it. And it seems like whenever I get on the screen right now, people, they get all in their feelings and twist the words I say and start writing me hateful emails and stuff, and they're just crying really hard, and I wish they knew how much I just don't care. But they don't. They don't realize, so they point their fingers at me, and I'm not gonna go live for that crap. So, you know, I'm just waiting for more stuff to happen. I'm sure it'll catch back up. It's just been cold and rainy this week, so it's kind of slow.
How white people act when you don't give them something you want. I've been given letters from this gas and oil company in Kansas. They want rights to my land in North Dakota. They're not going to get it. They think that if they pay me enough, which is never going to be enough, to further oppress and marginalize my people, that they'll win me over. They're salivating over this land. I can't even remember their names because I keep on fucking recycling the paper that they sent me. I will not turn over my land. But the way they go about it is almost like harassment, right? They're going to continue writing letters. I'm probably going to get some phone calls. Ms. Buttermilk, will you please respond to our shit? No, I'm not going to do it. Because this is how they act about land, right? They will not stop until they get their fucking land. They will not rest until they take everything you have to give. If you guys are fans of TikTok, I will say there's a really amazing thing happening over there. The Indigenous community has found a home on TikTok. And to me, it's heartwarming, it feels good to see people, we have a different culture when it comes down to our sense of humor that's fucking crude. You have to laugh about shit that white people wouldn't laugh about.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, this title is not the title that I generated. I try to go along the lines of the title I'm finding, because if I change all the words around, then I'm giving my opinion, and this isn't about my opinion. This is about what's actually happening right now live. They're saying that this march is for equality, even though all they're talking about is division and hate. That's all they're talking about is division and hate. But supposedly this march is for equality.
But there are also people that raise each other's children. There are also people that take care of the community. They steward the community. They raise the young ones to grow up and be good. So to find these pages is one way of the Native community to finally get visibility. Right? They can afford a smartphone, probably. They can maybe afford service if it's not too rural of an area, if the Wi-Fi will hold out. Which has been communicated on some of these TikTok pages. I don't know if my Wi-Fi will hold out because I'm in such a rural area. It's a problem. Northeastern Montana, when I go out there to see my family, I may or may not get phone calls out. I may or may not get Wi-Fi. And if it's a dire emergency, like I need to talk to my goddamn sponsor because there's a lot of shit going down back home, I may not be able to connect. So I might never until I get back to Seattle. But you will. You'll see the disparities that happen in Native communities. You'll see people talking about red dresses for NMIW. You'll see people talking about land rights, oil rights, and how people have stripped everything from them. You'll see how they're living in really desperate conditions. And I would really leave with you, and there's also going to be good stuff. It's going to be educational. It's going to be an insight to how our communities thrive and by the fact that there's been a genocide for 600 years. I'll talk more about we're going to stop up. Stop it? Okay? All right. That's it.
Hey, thank you so much, Lori, for joining the membership program, and welcome to the family. You're officially a hooligan.
ahorita está caminando allá.
Oh, really? ¿Por qué?
No me siento bien. I swear.
Es un poquito agresivo, pero...
You suspect.
Fuck you, asshole. Damn, bitch. Stop smoking so much. Yo, maybe, though, maybe. I'm not gonna say you're wrong.
People of the land.
Trust your intuition.
Thank you, everyone, for coming here. Very good to see everybody here. Glad that you're all here. That you're all coming here to show up for each other. You can't do this without one another. You hurt to a son, right? Well, you hurt to a son. My Indian name is Setanish. My English name is Ryan Wall. My family is from Southeast Alaska. The reason is Indian, my family, my relatives, just as with the Duwamish, the Duckwamsh. I come from the Kanwangar wolves, naturally, nearly, traditionally, and Big Sadi on my other side. From clan. We're from Sitka, Shepkwan. But I grew up with the Elwha Wild people, the strong people, over in Port Angeles, Washington. I want to say thank you for inviting me here, for letting me be here. Everyone else? I grew up in Port Angeles, but I've been to Seattle off and on for 6 years. I come here, on the weekends to try and meet here at the marches and meet with people to support the cause. Support things like, bring awareness to ICE or Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter support. Because when I was growing up, I didn't always have a group to share that with. Because in so many areas outside of Seattle, things are so suppressed. But here you can have your voice amplified and raised. Here.
Hey, what's up, Norman? Thanks for being here. I'm doing good. How are you?
Sometimes you can share your voice, but it's not always.
What's up, Dig? I don't know what video you're talking about. I don't know what CH is.
People are gonna hear it. My voice, your voice, it all matters. For the people that can't speak. I remember going to, I think it was the Texas Wall in 2019 with Kitty, with a group of friends, just to see what it looked like. I don't know if I shared this before, the last time I spoke, but might as well because,
Hey, thank you so much, Send, for joining the membership program, and welcome to the family. You're officially a hooligan.
Aztec, so south of the man-made borders, and top along Coahuila, so it's Texas and Mexico. So maybe even some relatives down there too, But I have a friend that's working down there that helps people who come across the borders to get their family services and to make sure they're safe, or to document at least, what they.
What's up, Indigo?
Probably for like the past 20 or 30 years. Some of the things we saw.
What's up, Steve Pence?
Of what happened to the people coming across the borders. I'll give you one of the big ones that kind of like frightened me, that people can be so cruel and petty. It's like you don't feel it or see it.
What's up, Edward?
So you see it with your own eyes. Or here, from a.
What's up, Deputy Dog? Thanks for being here.
What I saw was get people clean.
Well, I can't remember who asked me. No, YouTube took down all my videos that happened on the 6th. They wrote me an email. I posted all of this stuff on the community page as well as my Twitter, so you guys should really, check that stuff out for announcements and follow me on Twitter and stuff to, be up to date, as well as join the Discord. Anything I can't post on my community tab here on YouTube always makes it on the Discord and also makes it on Twitter. But YouTube took down all my videos from the 6th and said that it was spam, false information, scamming footage, and it was just a live of everything that happened on the 6th. So they took it all down. But what's really interesting is that video, I guess still images from my videos on the 6th made it on ABC News a couple days ago. They were live and they were talking about people being arrested and whatnot. And I guess a couple of the images that they showed on the screen had the Jeff Mac logo up in the corner. So it must not have been that, it must not have been too false if they're putting it on national television. But, you know how YouTube is. If you do want to see the footage, it's going to be on BitChute. Go down in my description and follow me on BitChute. I'm putting all my videos up there. I can't go live on BitChute because BitChute doesn't do that. But I'm putting all my videos up there so you guys can watch them, because then they won't be taken down.
Our relatives and our family, that's who they're doing that to. So it's not always easy. It's not always easy to talk or to show up. But do the best you can, that's what I try. And that's medicine, speak with compassion. Lead with compassion when you are there. I guess that's all I want to say. All right, we're going to get ready to start moving again here in a second. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure to continue to bring attention to those issues: immigration, capitalism, the banks who own all the important land. Just abolish those systems.
I love that guy.
What's up, D?
I was like, I have nothing to do today.
Whose streets? Whose streets?
Duwamish streets!
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 Whose streets?
What's up, Craig?
Whose streets? Whose streets?
What's up, Lisa? So just so you guys know, I didn't put it in the title, but on their title, it started with a bunch of words that I couldn't read out loud. It felt like it was going to summon demons or something if I was to say those words out loud, because they were, I don't know, they had like 15 vowels in each word. But this is considered a DDL march. So I don't know if that's a new group that's emerging or what. I've seen this guy up front here marching with BLM last year. I don't know if they're like branching off or what. I don't know if they're the names of tribal related things. If this starts to become more popular, I'll start putting those phrases in the title. I just didn't want to take up the space with a bunch of words that none of us would actually be able to read. But just so you're aware, the title from the source did say these three words and then kind of bracket it saying it's a DDL march, whatever that is.
Indigenous lives matter.
Indigenous lives matter!
Immigrant lives matter.
Immigrant lives matter!
Whose lives matter? Who else's lives matter? Who else's lives matter? Black lives matter.
Hey, thank you so much for the donation and all the support, Edward. I think I just covered it. I'll figure out what the DDL is, and maybe I'll put it in the chat and you guys can figure it out. I'm not trying to be mean if it actually is related to tribal stuff, but there's no way I could say that out loud. I have no idea how to pronounce those words.
What do you do?
Stand up, fight back!
When an indigenous life is under attack, what do you do?
Stand up, fight back!
When an immigrant life is under attack, what do you do?
Stand up, fight back!
Hey, thank you so much, Smokey SGT. Really appreciate the donation and all the support. Every once in a while, Native Americans and whatnot do get involved in these BLM protests and stuff. When they were protesting over by, oh goodness, what is it called? Mount Rushmore. They were protesting over there. There was supposed to be a speech by the president. It was sometime in July, I believe. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of Native Americans showed up and kind of got some of the spotlight. I've also seen it happen in Portland a couple times. Just kind of piggybacking off the spotlight that's already there, but it's not very often. I don't see Native American tribal pride kind of stuff happening very often.
Take accountability.
SBD, take accountability.
DND.
What up, Boom?
D, qualified immunity.
Whose streets?
Duwamish streets.
Whose streets? Whose streets?
What's up, Buckeye Bob?
Whose streets? 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 Whose streets?
Duwamish streets.
Whose streets?
Duwamish streets.
Whose streets? Whose streets? Whose streets? Whose streets? No good cops in a racist system. No good cops in a racist system.
Hey, thank you so much, Lori, for your donation and all your support. I really appreciate you. All right, guys, I got this DDL phrase copied. I'm getting ready to post it in the chat. I don't know anything about it. Maybe do some research or something and kind of let me know what you find. Hopefully it doesn't make your furniture float or anything like that.
No good cops in a racist.
What's up, Sage Pup?
No cops. No prisons. Total abolition. 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 No good cops in a racist system.
No good cops in a racist system.
No good cops. No good president. Give the land back to the OG residents.
No good cops, no good presidents. Give the land back to its OG residents.
Land back.
Land back,
Land back.
land back,
Land back.
land back.
Whose land?
Duwamish land,
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 Whose land?
Duwamish land.
Land back.
Land back,
Land back.
land back,
Land back.
land back,
Land back.
land back.
Land back. Land back. Duwamish streets. Whose streets? 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 No cops, no KKK, abolish USA. No cops, no KKK, abolish USA.
Abolish USA.
No cops, no KKK, abolish USA.
Abolish USA.
No cops, no prisons.
no cops, no prisons, total abolition.
No cops, no prisons, total abolition.
No cops, no prisons, total abolition.
No cops, no KKK, abolish USA.
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 No cops, no prison, total abolition.
No cops, no prisons, total abolition.
No cops, no prison, total abolition.
No cops, no prisons, total abolition.
No cops, no prison.
Hey, thank you so much, Cosmic Squirrel, for joining the membership program, and welcome to the family. You're officially a hooligan.
Racist system.
No good cops in a racist system.
No good cops in a racist system.
No good cops in a racist system.
No good cops. No good president. Give the land back to the OG residents.
No good cops, no good presidents. Give the land back to its OG residents.
No good cops. No good president. Give the land back to the OG residents.
No good cops, no good presidents. Give the land back to its OG residents.
Whose streets?
Duwamish streets.
Whose streets?
Duwamish streets.
Whose streets?
Duwamish streets.
Whose streets?
Duwamish streets.
Black trans lives matter.
Black trans lives matter.
Native two-spirits matter.
Native two-spirits matter.
Black trans lives matter.
Black trans lives matter.
Native two-spirits matter.
Native two-spirits matter.
Black trans lives matter.
Black trans lives matter.
Native two-spirits matter.
Native two-spirits matter.
Black trans lives matter.
Black trans lives matter.
Native two-spirits matter.
Native two-spirits matter.
Black trans lives matter.
Black trans lives matter.
Native two-spirits matter.
Native two-spirits matter. No, I'm just trying to get in your way.
Alright. Here we are again, one of our frequent stops, or weekly stops here. One of the reasons I like marching here is it's the middle of downtown, pretty disruptive. I mean, you get some attention. More importantly, it's the home of the police headquarters, it's the municipal courthouse and city hall. All parts of the very system that we seek to take down. We say brick by brick, wall by wall, this is the system that I want to fall. This whole system needs to go down. The police department, from its inception, has been racist. Their first goal, their first job was to remove the Duwamish people from this land. The first thing the cops were told to do was to remove natives. The natives from this land, the land that you're standing on. If the police don't see by now that they're on the wrong side of history,
What's up, Lee?
I'm at a point now where I just don't know what to say to the people who know that this job is a drain on society, that it's just money wasted, that their job actually doesn't keep people safe, that their job isn't enriching the lives of the citizens, it's not preventing crime, not in the way they think. Real crime prevention comes in the form of healthcare. Real crime prevention comes in the form of opportunities. When you take those opportunities away from people, when you don't give them a stable place to live, when you don't give them a stable way to make a living, Hungry people will do what they need to eat. People who don't have a bathroom will shit anywhere. Like,
I've seen it.
When people complain about homelessness, they treat the homeless people themselves like they are the problem. They don't like to acknowledge that the system that they are a part of is the problem. They don't want to accept that the very system that they're benefiting off of is the same one that keeps people down. And they don't want to accept that no amount of hard work is going to be paid fair. This whole system is built on exploitation. Exploitation is a feature of the system. I mean, the richer you are, the less you have to work. You don't have to work as hard, the richer you are. Meanwhile, working people are the poorest. The hardest workers are the lowest paid. Honestly, like, this whole system, it makes me so angry, and it's just, I wish more people knew just how intertwined capitalism is to all of these racial issues. When people talk about Martin Luther King Jr. and they remember his speeches about equality, the history books, schools, like the education system would like you to completely forget about all of his socialist stances. That Martin Luther King Jr. was pretty against capitalism, and he was assassinated. And most people believe he was assassinated because he was going to help start a revolution, a workers' revolution. He was seeking economic, racial equality. The people running this country don't want that. Rich white people don't want that. CEOs, business owners, rich politicians, they don't want that. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. It's just the way the system's designed. I can't understand the people who stick up for billionaires. Bootlickers, but for billionaires. I don't get it. I don't get the praise. I don't understand why these greedy people are looked at as so humanitarian. I mean, like, they're greedy people. I mean, you only make $1 billion through nepotism, through exploitation, through greed. Greedy capitalist tactics, that's the only way you're going to make $1 billion. And this whole system, the police system, the criminal punishment system is all...
I think this person's phone couldn't handle it anymore. Oh, just a moment. Let's see if we can get this fixed. Just a second. Dawnbreak, you got kicked off their chat over there. That's what it looks like. I see your name with a bunch of X's next to it where your comments used to be.
Amendment. Slavery was abolished unless you're in prison.
All right, they're back. Anyways, thank you so much, Smokey SGT. Really appreciate the donation and all the support. I don't feel sorry for this guy. He's all right. He's been able to do this for months and stuff. He ain't hurting that bad.
Like, African American people make up 13 or 14% of the population. Black men only make up 7%. So why is 40% of those prisoners black? It's racism, racist police, a racist system, a racist criminal punishment system. This isn't justice. They're locking people up, they're disrupting communities, they're doing it on purpose. It's in your history. Might not be in your history book, but you can find it. Learn, do the research, educate yourself. One of Nixon's advisors quoted saying that they couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war or black, but by associating blacks with heroin and hippies with marijuana, they can criminalize both those drugs and disrupt those communities. This is all part of their plan. It's their goal. It still is their goal. They want to disrupt our communities. They want us to stay poor. They want us to be the dirt poor laborers, the ones who build their wealth. They get to live in luxury. The Industrial Revolution has already happened. Like, we have so many machines and tools and things that are good that can make life easier for everybody. We have entire warehouses full of food and resources, and they're called...
I just want to let you guys know, you guys are hilarious in the chat, and you're cracking me up.
Like, half the food we produce, like, because it can't be sold, because of profit, because they can't let it go to poor people. High-end fashion brands will destroy their own merchandise just to make sure that it doesn't make their way into the hands of homeless people, that homeless people aren't wearing Gucci or Louis Vuitton.
That's interesting.
They don't want that. They don't want poor people to be associated with their brand, so they will literally destroy unsold merchandise just so no one else can have it. We have so much waste. Capitalism has created a problem of overabundance. We have a population of people who can't afford all the shit that we have too much of. We have all of this land and it's all owned by corporations and protected by police, by the National Guard. People need to know just how racist capitalism is, and just how money-driven this whole society is. There's some serious shit going on. We really need to come together, and I love what I'm seeing. I love the fact that we have so many people who are willing to come together. I mean, the last 6, 7, 8 months have been fucking wild. Ever since COVID hit.
Hey, thank you so much, Adam, for your donation and all your support. I really appreciate you.
Before Trump, things were still fucked up. These issues are only getting worse, and they're only going to get worse. We have to protect the environment. We have to protect each other. And we have to take down these racist institutions that keep killing us.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for letting me speak. I really fucking hate the police. I hate the criminal justice system. It's not a justice system at all. The city hall, the mayor system, we need to redo it all. This land needs to be given back to the Duwamish people. This is native land. This is native territory. We are all standing on Duwamish land. This is the land of the Duwamish people. And land acknowledgements are important. It's important to know the history of the place that you are standing in. And the land needs to be given back now because it was stolen. And the Duwamish people
they never gave it up. The land was never given. The land was never handed over. All of these tribes have signed treaties. We're forced into these treaties whether we thought they were fair or not. Because we wanted to survive. Thank you for letting me speak. It's really important that we take down these systems. And that can only happen when we as a community come together. We make that happen. Thank you. One thing that we need to realize, this is not a free democracy as we think. This is a plutocracy, which means it's for the corporations and they have the best interest of the corporations. And if you want to know how, and if you want to see an example, walk into a bank and take everything they have, or a casino, and see what happens. But then watch when someone comes into your house and takes everything you have.
Yeah.
And if it's the same, and it isn't, they will shut the city down if you go rob the bank. And they won't even take your police report sometimes. They say, oh, shit happens, you need to get a law. Why? Because they're not really here to serve the people in democracy. They're here to serve the business and the corporate interest in this nation. And that's what we need to realize. It's not a democracy. They're fooling everyone by calling it that. It's coded white language. Make everyone feel better about voting. But that's not what it is. A true democracy is freedom, which we have none of. That's what they call that. At the gang headquarters of the Blue Boys, that's why they're the biggest killers in every city, and they never do time. Are these people in the blue badges? Everyone wants to talk about. I carry a gun. Hate to say that on camera. Don't give a fuck. I carry a gun for them. I don't carry a gun for Joe Blow. I carry a gun because they have a gun, and I want to be on the same plane because they're dangerous. They don't care what you did or didn't do. You're automatically a threat by being who you are and what color skin you are and what it says when they type in your name. And they don't care about justice or peace or law and order. It's all about power and authority and small egos. And the job almost draws anyone in with those problems. And it's sad to say, most of these people are criminally insane from the things they've seen and have PTSD. And then they're supposed to go out and be peacekeepers in our community. When they become the threat, who would you turn to? They're killing us, and no one is holding these fucks accountable. And I just want to share a blessing song. I want to say this first. I might go to jail. So my cousin Cecil Jr. Lacey was killed 5 years ago, and his last words were, "I can't breathe. Please call my mom. I can't breathe. They're killing me." And nothing was ever done. We're getting a retrial. I don't know when. But I would like anyone who's listening, please try to be there to show support that they can't kill us, and it's not okay, that they can kill people and get away with it. Thank you. And another member of my family, Milo Harvey, was murdered. He was doing nothing wrong. He was a naked man, murdered by 90 police officers. They all lied, destroyed the computer. And the only reason his family got any sort of justice is they violated our religious rights by giving away his body parts without permission, as he wasn't an organ donor against our spiritual way. Not the police brutality, not killing, not unlawful death, not covering up evidence, not lying, none of that shit. They all got 9-month vacations and paid. And one of them was like the sheriff and chief county. So these people aren't even, not only not held accountable, they're for keeping their blue silent, they're reported. And they get management positions because they're on Team Blue. And that's what it's all about. It's not about peace. It's about putting people in jail and keeping their mouths quiet so they don't put each other in jail. And that's wrong. We need to be about justice and peace, and not fucking killing our own citizens. In America, we've killed 1,000 citizens in 2020. In Britain, in the 20th century, they killed 100. A whole fucking century, 100 citizens. In 1 year, we've killed 1,000. Because we don't de-escalate, we escalate situations with our guns. And that's the biggest problem. They need to get rid of the guns. They're the biggest threat to the city. Police guns. And I just want to hear it before we go. Take a seat.
Honestly, I would way rather have that than all the freestyling and mixtapes and stuff that were coming out last year in the summertime. Every time they had a get together like this, somebody had to come up and release a new mixtape for solidarity, and everybody clapped their hands. And if you want an autograph copy, they're $15 a piece in the back. So yeah, we're gonna have 15 minutes of people with some crap rap. I would way rather have this than that. I'm glad that those times aren't as common right now.
If you're living on the street, you're gonna get a misdemeanor for it. So you're already on the streets because you can't afford your rent, and then you're gonna get a misdemeanor for it, which means you're gonna be arrested. That's gonna be on your record. You're gonna have to pay a fine. If you can't pay the fine, your credit's gonna tank, and then you can't pass a credit inspection when you go to get a fucking house when you finally get on your feet. The logic around this shit baffles me. How they don't connect the dots. Right? Like, how people just do not see the chain of events that happens to bring the things they dislike, right? Like houselessness in their neighborhoods. Larry Triangle over in Ballard, Dan Strauss had put out a survey. This guy is so fucking out of touch. The things he asked, what would you rather see that space become? An art space, a gathering space, a place for business, for people to sit and eat. And I was like, well, there's houseless people living there for a reason. It's close to services. Make it a tiny house village, which is still not acceptable because they should be living in actual homes, but make it a fucking tiny house village. If they're there, it's because they're close to a hospital, they're close to stores, they're close to gas that they need to get to a job. Do not make it anything other than it is right now. And stop phrasing this shit like they are the offenders here. They're not. The offenders are capitalism, NIMBYs, white people that don't want that shit in my backyard. They're the problem. So I wrote a very strongly worded survey to Dan Strauss yesterday. Now, this is the heady stuff, but I feel like we need to know the laws that cause the problems in the first place to be able to dismantle capitalism. So, when it comes to how white people have complete autonomy on reservations, even though natives are supposed to have sovereignty, there was a law that made that happen. Oliphant versus Duquamish. This happened in 1974. That William Rehnquist will put him in the same pool as Andrew Jackson and the guy that made the residential schools because he was strongly anti-native and he did everything in his power to gut sovereignty, to gut rights for Native American tribes. He was the one that said, even if we've given these people sovereignty, white people that commit crimes, non-Indians that commit crimes on reservation land cannot be tried by tribal courts. So when it comes to issues like missing and murdered people on pipelines and domestic disputes, if a white person is involved, they're not going to jail. Because if tribal can't do anything about it, and we know these motherfuckers are useless, then we'll get away with terrorizing anyone on a reservation. So there goes another chink in this whole chain of oppression and of lack of rights and of nobody listening when natives speak. It's hard to think that you can go and dismantle this system because they're especially Native American shit. I'm looking at it every week like, where do I even start, right? Do I ask Colleen Echo Hawk, who, yay, is running for mayor, along with Lorena Gonzalez? Either one of them could run this city. And I'm pretty sure they do a pretty fucking decent job. Way better than Mayor fucking Durkin. But, who do I take it to? Right? Who do I take these issues to? Who do I speak to say, how do we dismantle this law that was passed, that was upheld in really egregious ways? And there's no advocacy. There's like, as we talked about a couple of weeks, there's not even a bail bond in the name of Native Americans, right? Like, we don't have the advocacy groups that other demographics have. We don't have people speaking up for it. How do we solve this problem of making sure that there are entities out there? They're still fighting dead talent for the Secretary of Interior position. One native in American history that could give insight to Congress about what's happening on reservations, and they will not fucking clear her nomination. Give me a break. She Do Native Americans have more insight about what happens in interior land in the United States than anybody in fucking Congress? And they're still not willing to nominate this woman. They're getting all this pushback because of racism, because of capitalism.
Hey, thank you so much, Prairie Wind and Smokey SGT. I really appreciate the donations and all the support. Thank you guys so much.
Anyway, there was a survey taken, they posted it on I Fucking Love Science, that said that America was number 7 in the world for empathy. I, as American, had to write back and say, how is that fucking possible? There's no way. If you look at the race issue here and how many people are considered unequal, how many people are terrorized by police, how many people are discriminated against in housing, in economic situations, in jobs, across the board, domestic violence. Pets are sometimes treated better, right? How can we consider ourselves number 7 in the fucking country? Somebody said it's because we give more to charity than anybody else. So that's what qualifies.
What's up, Bipolar Bear?
To empathy, compassion, and a civilized manner. That we buy this ideal that we're fucking empathetic. That's not how this shit works. You can't be empathetic and then come back to your citizens and terrorize them. Take land, murder your people, and make sure the people are starving during a pandemic. And then try to pass a bill that criminalizes you if you end up on the street. That's not compassion, it's not empathy. So push back against those systems, make sure people hear your voice. You're all doing a great job, continue to show up. I'm glad it's almost summer, because it's been a cold winter.
Yeah, brash conservative. We'll see.
So I was looking at this article this past week, and I think it was a shocking sharing about a police officer, I don't know if anyone saw that, who recently was on video committing suicide. Anybody see that? He was a person of color. And I guess the biggest cause of death for police officers is police officers' suicide by their own hands. So through this colonization, assimilation, through the taking, separation, the creating differences between us, they're trying to make us their soldiers and their pawns and just count us up and let us die. That's how it's happening. We're to fight against each other. We can't let that happen. I think, these past few years that police have got to see how important it is to be together. And what is it? City Hall, one that makes a difference. This is jail, that's jail. I kind of just, when I think about that, I think that, there's people who are in these jails for crimes, many that weren't even like drug-related charges. I mean, those, they don't need to be in there. I mean, who needs to be in the jail in the first place? But people will be there, in their elderly years. Some will even die in there. I mean, in a small cell. I feel bad for them, and they shouldn't. Nobody should have to live like that. That's part of the. I think I was only in juvie once, and it was also for weed, for marijuana, and I was like.
Tampa Kurt, you saw somebody with a hooligan shirt on out in public? I haven't seen that yet. I don't think I've caught anybody wearing hooligan merch yet. Where'd you see them at? Like what state?
Not human. You start wanting to be there more because it's like, I don't know, it's the way they try and take you out of who your family is. They try to pretend like they are your family now, They get money for having people in there, all these private prisons. And I think it was just ended by Biden, which is thinking hopefully he's going to make more moves. He's always hold each of our presidents and elected officials to council, which it is good to hear, of course, that Colleen Echo Hawkins is going to be here because, so again, coming from Port Angeles to Seattle, my first place that I was told to go to integrate the culture was the Chief Seattle Club. Because I myself at the time was, I was looking for friends and I was homeless at the time, houseless. So I didn't know, where to go or what to do, but I knew that was a place to go to. And Colleen Eckelhoff was actually one of the big smiling bright faces that had always helped me. And like anything I asked her about, she was always there to reflect on. Any like idea of business, like I'd always be excited about it. She'd be like happy for me. You would expect that, and like what we need is more people of color like that, people who grew up from similar situations that we did. She's a person who grew up in Fairbanks, Alaska, that's just a little bit north of Southeast and North Research, but she grew up with a good family and a good heart, and like these are the type of people we need in a good position because they're gonna help that change happen in the areas we need. We're gonna get bills changed. We're gonna get our voices heard more. And I just want to drop some back walls, because this disconnection that we've been put through, it's not just this past year or 2 years. It's not just noticing more. It's been happening for a very, very long time. It is many ways that they could have thought of to keep us separated. It is many ideas, like to keep our minds confused and hurt and not wanting to heal. But it's time to heal. That's what we're doing here. With us here on the ground is healing. Healing for each other and healing to help get people out of the business and into the right place where they need to be.
This guy sounds like he has no idea what he's talking about, even more than the rest of them. He sounds like he just did a couple lines or like just hit a joint really quick and was like, oh, it's open mic night? Okay, let me just get on the mic really quick. And he's like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Hey, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, man? Yeah, wow. Wow, dude. I just look around and wow. Get this guy off the mic.
It's just the quickest way to get the most money by doing the least amount of work, if I can do it. And they overwork themselves and then they start to get like, they start to get kind of like not the best mindset towards people. When you get low sleep and just get overworked, then lots of bad things happen. That's what they do, and they cause those bad things. And then they hurt other people, they hurt themselves. So we don't want that anymore. What I want to do is I want to say, for all these people that need healing, that's all I'm going to say for you. And I want to drop some back from City Hall, from jail. I'm not that. Just think about that, good thoughts for that. Love, healing. To get their mind right, because that's what we need, that's what they need. We are all on this earth, and it can happen one day, it will happen one day. Next week, when you perspective. So for me, jumping backwards, it's kind of like I've been saying, the song, this is for medicine, this is not for healing. And, you can burn it, or you can what I do when I think of it is like, it's there to sit there, to my knowledge, is kind of like just keep that healing and that medicine for a while, keep it on the ground. And while it exists there, those good intentions, it's just a way to encourage that through the spiritual world. Because the spiritual world, the ancestors will always know what's going on, Their ancestors, all the police's ancestors, will always be watching them. So what we want to also do through this is like encourage and pray that they listen to their ancestors, You are ancient indigenous, and through this earth, the earth will always be speaking to us, and our ancestors will, if we're listening. And it's important to listen. It's important to listen to them.
Hi guys, I'm Wilson William, Kobe's cousin, obviously. What I want to say is from what he went off about the court, in other ways it's like we're still a slave. We're not a slave to people. It's not right. It's more of a standing up and rising into a better person and think about being wiser and not making dumb decisions. But I just wanted to come out here and jump with my cousin.
I told you, it's amateur hour on the mic. That guy ain't even got no mask. They're gonna beat him up later for breathing on the megaphone.
That's not a good word. We're gonna head out here in a second. Fuck the police, fuck the courts, fuck City Hall, jail, fuck this whole system, really. Just fuck it. Fuck the system.
Thank you guys again for allowing us to be here to represent our people. As I mentioned before, the genocide that's going on in Tigray is ongoing. We're going on day 100 as of the 11th. There are a lot of different activities and different protests and demonstrations going on in Seattle. And a good resource for you guys to be connected is an Instagram page that I'd like to give you all to follow. The page is Tagaru Events. It's spelled T-E-G-A-R-U Events. I'll say it again. T-E-G-A-R-U Events. And one last time. T-E-G-A-R-U Events. If you didn't get that, please come by and just check in with us. We'll be able to get that for you as well as any other information you need. Like I said, by day 100 in Rwanda, there were 800,000 people dead. And the longer this goes on, the more civilians are going to be caught in the crossfire. They're not dying just from bullets, they're being targeted by rape. They've weaponized starvation at this point. These people are dying from thirst and hunger in 2021 simply because the Prime Minister refuses to feed them. The food is available, the money is available, the resources are available, but we do not have a connection to Tigray. We are asking for unfettered humanitarian access into the region, as well as for the government to allow for journalists and independent investigators into the region to document the atrocities that's going on. Because right now the war is happening in the dark, and that's exactly where issues and war crimes are committed and get swept under the rug, and that can't be the case in Tigray. Tigray has contributed too much to the world on a national scale for the world to turn its back on Tigray. So thank you guys again. I really hope you guys got that page, because there's going to be events in Seattle. Our next protest is a women's march against the rape. Like I said, 700 women in the capital city alone, girls, were raped in the last 100 days. And we're going to be marching on the 12th to speak out about that. The flyer will be on that Instagram page that I mentioned. We'd love for you guys to come and show out support. A lot of our protests has been mostly our own community, and we really need the rest of the Seattle community there to support us. So thank you again, and thank you, Cole.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter everywhere, and we can't let another genocide be swept under the rug. There's some serious shit going on, and it needs international attention. People around the world need to know about what's going on and learn how to step in and do something. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for being here, Captain Seamus. I appreciate you.
So we're going to get ready to go back on the board again.
Wow, I wish it was all sunny and nice here. Here in Michigan, we've been getting dumped on all weekend. We've been getting lots of snow. It's been freezing cold and stuff. These fools out here crying in the street, and they got a sunny day. I'm jealous. Hardcore jealous. Just rough. You know, I find myself jealous watching these protests. I think the last time we were live, we were watching them at ICE. Guy had a Segway. I don't have a Segway. I wish I had a Segway. I mean, he got spear tackled by federal agents and they took it, but he was back last night with it. I didn't go live because the feds didn't come out and play. Even the feds don't want to even hit him with the pepper balls anymore. They were all disappointed. A bunch of people outside crying and pissing on buildings and just sad that the feds wouldn't come play. So that's why we didn't go live last night, but we'll see how it goes today. They might try and go back to ICE again tonight.
Duwamish streets! 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 Duwamish streets!
No good cop, no good president. Give the land
system. No good cops in a racist system. No bad protesters in a revolution. No good cops in a racist system. No bad protesters in a revolution. No good cop, no good president. Give the land back to the OG residents. No cops, no KKK, no racist USA. No cops, no KKK, abolish USA. No cops, no prison, total abolition. 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 No cops, no KKK, abolish USA.
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 No cops, no prisons, total abolition.
No cops, no prisons, total abolition.
No cops, no prisons, total abolition. No cops, no prison, total abolition. No cops, no prison, total abolition. No cops, no prison, total abolition.
I like how this girl right here on the left side of the screen was crying about credit and stuff like that, and she just pulls a $1,200 iPhone out of her pocket. That sounds like somebody crying over maxing out credit cards. That's what it sounds like to me. Look at the way she's dressed and stuff. She ain't hurting. She weighs as much as two of me. She ain't hurting. These people are crazy.
We will make this system fall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall, we will make the system fall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall, we will make this system fall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall, we will make this system fall.
Every city, every town, burn the system to the ground.
Every city, every town, burn the system to the ground.
Whose streets?
Army streets,
Whose streets?
Army streets,
Whose streets?
Do army streets!
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 Well, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying. They're talking about how unfair it is, how they're oppressed. Walking around in a $120 pair of jeans. Got a phone that costs as much as a car. But they hate capitalism. And then they got the nerve to be like, yeah, you should research it. You should research what you're talking about while you're standing in the street with your $1,200 phone. Google it. Just goodness. My goodness. Ignorance.
Land back! Land back! Land back! Land back! Land back!
Charlene, she probably could snap me like a twig. Look how mad they are out there in the streets. Probably would snap me like a twig. Punch me in the chest and just break me. Just break me because they're so mad over nothing. Just mad over nothing. They ain't even mad. They're just bored. That's what it looks like at this point. They're just bored. They just need something to do.
No good cops in a racist system.
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 No good cops. No good president. Give the land back to the OG residents.
No good cops. No good presidents. Give the land
And to everyone who keeps asking, yes, I seen Tom McDonald's new song. It's highly relevant to the things we see on a daily basis, isn't it?
To arm the streets! To arm the streets! To arm the streets! To arm the streets!
Steve Pence, you crack me up.
To arm the streets! 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 To arm the streets!
Hey, I exist. I'm doing good. How are you?
Stand up, fight back!
When an indigenous life is under attack, what do you do?
Stand up, fight back!
When an immigrant life is under attack, what do you do?
Stand up, fight back!
When a black life is under attack, what do you do?
Stand up, fight back!
When an indigenous life is under attack, what do you do? When an immigrant life is under attack, what do you do?
Stand up, fight back!
Whose lives matter?
Black lives
Who
matter!
else's lives matter? Who else's lives matter? Black lives matter. Indigenous lives matter. Immigrant lives matter. Black lives matter.
Black lives matter!
Indigenous lives matter.
Indigenous lives matter!
Immigrant lives matter.
Immigrant lives matter!
ACAB, that's the easiest one to answer.
All cops are bastards! All cops are bastards! All cops are bastards! Don't make me take the megaphone.
It's a beautiful effort.
ACAB.
All cops are bastards!
This must be her first day as a protester.
Bastards!
ACAB.
All cops are 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 bastards!
All cops are bastards.
Tampa Kurt, that's hilarious.
All cops are bastards.
All cops are bastards!
No good cops in a racist system.
No good cops in a racist system!
No bad protesters in a revolution.
No bad protesters in a revolution!
No good cops in a racist system.
No good cops in a racist system!
No bad protesters in a revolution.
No bad protesters in a revolution!
Right, you guys lead the chant, and we'll follow you. Give me one. Land back.
Land back!
Land back.
Land back!
Land back.
Land back!
Cops in the KK. Oh God.
She ain't good at this.
And go hand in hand.
Cops and the Klan go hand in hand!
Cops and the Klan go hand in hand.
Cops and the Klan go hand in hand!
The cops and the Klan go hand in hand.
The cops and the Klan go.
Hey, what's up, Joe? Thanks for being here.
Klan go hand in hand.
The cops and the Klan go hand in hand!
The cops and the Klan go hand in hand.
The cops and the Klan go hand in hand!
No cops, no KKK, no racist USA.
No racist USA!
No cops, no KKK, abolish USA. No cops, no KKK, abolish USA. No cops, no prison, total abolition.
No prisons! Total abolition!
No cops, no prisons, total abolition.
No cops! No prisons! Total abolition!
No cops, no prisons, total abolition.
No cops! No prisons! Total abolition!
No cops, no prisons, total abolition.
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 No cops, no KKK, abolish USA.
No cops, no KKK, abolish USA.
Alright, we made it. Made it back.
Jamie, that was hilarious.
Thank you, Mike.
Hey, thank you so much, Smokey SGT. I really appreciate your donation. Thank you for being here.
Thank you,
Medic. Yeah, thank you, security. Thank you, everyone who came out. Thank you for everyone. Oh, thank you, legal observers.
Hey, Dan.
Fuck the police.
Fuck the police.
Thank you guys once again for coming out here and showing support and for continuing to bring awareness to these issues. Continue educating yourselves. Ask questions. It's okay. Questions are a sign that you want to know, not a sign that you're stupid. You're not stupid for wanting to know. This education system purposefully keeps information from you. Everything. This is all a mind game. If they can control what you know, they can control what you do. They don't want you to know. Educate yourself. Ask questions. It's okay. Educate yourself. There's a lot of issues that are always being pushed by the wayside. They don't want people to know because they don't want people to act. They don't want people to do something. They don't want people like you to stand up and to fight back. They're not counting on that. They don't want smart people. They don't want people who can figure out that they're getting fucked by this government. So thank you guys again for showing up and for marching and for bringing awareness to this. Every Saturday at 2 p.m. here we'll gather, march by 3, sometimes it's after 3. But yeah, thank you guys for coming out and showing support on these issues. We need to abolish capitalism. We need to abolish the police. We need to abolish ICE. We need to dismantle. We need to take down our borders. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. There's still a lot to do. But seriously.
Hey, thank you so much, Tia, for your donation and all your support. I really appreciate you being here.
Danny is still traveling right now. He left DC. He is on his way to, I forget which pipeline. He's on his way to one of the pipelines, so he's going to go from Line 3. Danny is on his way to the Line 3 pipeline. So still, if you guys can, show support to Danny. I'm not sure when he'll be back, but he's really, he takes this just as serious. He probably takes it more seriously than I do. He really is fighting for the land. Danny really is a freedom fighter. Like, support Danny. His Venmo's out there. If you guys want to support him on anything would help him. He's out there protesting the pipeline right now, and so if you can support Danny, his Venmo is Danny-Leclaire-13. DANNY-Leclaire. That's LECLAIRE-13. Danny-Leclaire-13. So support Danny. I'm not sure when he's going to come back, but he's really out there protesting and fighting for the land and fighting against these corporate overlords.
Hey, thank you so much, Julie. I really appreciate the donation and all the support. Thank you for being here.
If you want to support the group, the Venmo was taken down. The Cash App is still up, though. If you guys want to support the group, It's DDL2021. That's the Cash App if you guys want to support that. If you'd like to support myself, anything helps. It's my Venmo and Cash App is native 710. Just native 710. Native 17. No dash or anything. It's just anything helps. Announcements. We have announcements for upcoming events, and then I think that's
What the fuck are you doing in my room?
All right, so Black History Month. Black Action Coalition will meet every Friday up at the African American Historical Museum instead of SEC, so keep that on your radar. They kindly listed us, so show up here again next week, 2 o'clock. Trey from BAC is doing a live for education every night, I'm guessing, at 8 p.m. It doesn't clarify. And then we've got 2/14. So February 14th, it's to support the ICE March, 3 p.m. at Yesler Terrace Park. 2/21, Black Health Matters at Garfield High. 2/28, Black Joy Festival at Othello Playground. When is the 7th? Are we on the 7th right now? Time doesn't matter anymore in quarantine. I don't know. If it's the 7th, yeah. If it's not, then there's a community cleanup check ID for location. That brings me to the point of Andrea Suarez. She runs I Heart Seattle, which is supposedly they didn't even try to fuck.
Thank you so much, Greg, for your very generous donation. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Sharika, for your donation and all your support. I really appreciate you.
And she's got to be on your radar for somebody to watch out in Seattle because she's gaining all this NIMBY support. And people that are like, oh, she's such a fucking savior. No, she's horrible. Horrid. And then Ryan and CJ, do you guys want to give your Venmos? I counselor my therapist that I should start giving mine. I would rather you share the information that I give you here rather than take your money. But if you have people that like to pay reparations instead, it's at JAIK/SPOTTED and then the Cash App is $Jake, capital S, spotted, capital W, Wolf. I had 2 parents that had 2 very long last names. You want to give yours?
Hi, thank you all for coming, witnessing, being here, participating together. It is an honor. Grateful once again, thank you. And I guess my PayPal, I have a PayPal, I don't know, I might have a Venmo, but that's the best thing I can think of right now. PayPal.com, probably /Ryan Resilience, because I partially grew up on the res in Port Angeles. Res with a Z, Resilience. Other than that, I'm a person in school. If any of you are good with biology, I have 2 labs I gotta do. So if you want to help with that, like biology labs, and I'm doing honors. I'm doing like 18 credits, 9 classes this quarter. So yeah, I'm practicing, carving. I just got an ads today, so love to shoot. So I'm excited.
Hey, thank you so much, Steven, for your donation and all your support. I really appreciate you.
Eventually try to be over in Seattle more. I do like Seattle. I do like the family, friends here. Thank you, Rashish. There's a column word.
I'm checking to see if there's any other marches or anything going on right now. I'm sure there will be later on.
And Haida, our other relatives, Southeast Alaska. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys again so much for coming out. Same time next week. Every Saturday at 2 p.m. We're going to gather here, march at 3, and then educate, cause some disruption. Make sure that people know that these issues aren't just going to go away because some people just stop talking about them. We need land reclamation. We need land recognition. This is Duwamish territory, and it really means a lot that there's so many people who are willing to come out every week and to acknowledge that. And You can't do a proper land acknowledgement if you don't give the land back. This land needs to be given back to the Duwamish people. Seriously, thank you guys so much. Also, one last announcement for the...
Hey, thank you so much, Anthony. I really appreciate the donation, all the support. Thank you so much.
Thank
you again, Colby. I just want to remind you guys of the protest on February 12th, the March Against Rape. Like I said, 700 women and girls in one city alone. And there's other cities that we still have not heard back from. As the lines of communication open up, the atrocities about what's going on will come to light. But right now it's in the dark, and it's on us to bring it to light. When the genocide happened in Rwanda 30 years ago, smartphones weren't a thing. But they're a thing now, and we can use them. So I'm again urging you guys to follow the Tagado events page and continue to shed light about what's going on in every community you're in. Whether that's at school, at work, at church, at mosque, whatever your faith is, wherever you congregate, please speak light to what's going on. The more we talk about it, the more pressure we could put on our senators and the UN Security Council to get the two things we need. We're not here for political ideologies. We're not here to argue with anybody. We're here to argue or to fight on behalf of the humanitarian crisis and get unfettered humanitarian aid into Tigray, as well as open up the corridors for independent investigators and reporters to document what's going on. Until we know what's happening, we won't be able to help them. And that's all we need to do, is know. I just want to know if my family is alive. That's it. And I don't think that's too much to ask for. Thank you guys again. We do have flyers out. Please, right over here, we can get you a flyer that has a QR code for a ton of resources. Step 1 is getting educated. Step 2 is telling people. Step 3 is showing up. So get educated, tell people, and on February 12th, please show up. Thank you guys.
All right, thank you. You don't have to go home, but you can also stay here. I don't really care.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Before we go, we're going to have a song.
Yeah, thank you. I messed this up if you're at the Friday night march last time. I forgot. This is my We song. It's a people song. It's called We. Not weed. We. Because we the people. This is it's in the shooting.
I see you guys saying that there's stuff going on in DC, but I'm searching and I'm not seeing anything going on in DC. And with all the troops there, I'd be really surprised if there was anything going on in DC. But I'll keep looking.
You guys with what do you do when black lives are under attack? Stand up, fight back. You know, cower in fear and ignore the problem. Just saying. It's a good day, y'all.
All right, just a second. All right, that's it for this stream. I'll look into what's going on in DC. I think that they'll probably be back out in Portland again tonight, especially because they didn't get a reaction yesterday. I'm assuming there's going to be more going on today. It's very rare to have like just dead Fridays. But when a Friday has nothing going on, it usually means that there's stuff going on Saturday. So I'm assuming that we will be going live again tonight, whether it's with DC or Portland or, you know, somewhere. We'll figure it out. But thank you guys so much for being here. Big shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership program, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are what's keeping the channel going. You're why I can do this every day. So thank you so much. If you're new here, please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon and join the Discord. Everyone needs to join the Discord. Even if you don't want to participate in the Discord, which is totally fine. I'm considering just actually taking the chats right out. Because what's important to me is that I can make the announcements and you guys can read what's going on my end, and that you're also alerted every single time we go live, when and where we go live. So definitely join the Discord. Like I mentioned earlier, it's a free app you download on your phone. You go to the description of my live videos, even if they're not live anymore. There's a server link in the description. You click the link, you go through the motions. You'll be greeted with an automated message letting you know that you've done all you need to do in order to receive the notifications. So please join the Discord. It is definitely worth it. You cannot trust the YouTube algorithm. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You can be subscribed and have the notifications turned on and not even receive notifications. YouTube is very, well, they're just censoring people. That's all there is to it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They suck. But yeah, as long as everybody's on YouTube, I have to play by their rules if I'm going to reach people with the truth and what's actually happening around us. So thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to look around and see what else I can find. If I find anything else, or more when I find something else, we will be going live again. So until then, stand tall, shine bright. That's a wrap.